What if the greatest thing you could ever inherit wasn't gold or land, but a riddle? It sounds kind of strange, right? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. A timeless story about three brothers who get just that. And in solving it, they find out something really profound about where true power comes from.
So this is what their father left them. Not a map, not a chest of jewels, but just this one kind of cryptic sentence. It's a puzzle that's going to force them to question everything they thought they knew about themselves and about each other. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in this quiet valley with three brothers. Now, they all live together, sure, but in terms of how they saw the world, they might as well have been on different planets. Okay, so first up, you've got Azadar. He's the oldest, the mountain. For him, power is simple. It's physical strength, it's what you can build or break with your own two hands. Then there's the middle brother, Taha, the dreamer. This guy is always lost in old books, seeing magic and meaning in symbols everyone else just ignores. And finally, we have Munsizar. He's the youngest, the listener. He's so quiet you'd barely know he's there, but that's his superpower. He hears the little secrets the world is whispering. So when their father passed away, you'd think they'd get land or money, right? Nope. He left them two things, this heavy, old iron key and that riddle we just heard. And of course, being brothers, they immediately think, aha, hidden treasure. And just like that, their journey begins. Convinced that this treasure has to be at the top of the Great Peak, the brothers start their climb. But their first real test isn't about how far they can walk. It's an obstacle of pure, raw force. And let's just say the mountain has a lesson in store for them. And pretty quickly, they hit a wall. Or, well, a wall of water. A furious river has completely washed the path away. It's powerful, it's roaring, and it looks absolutely impossible to cross. This is where we're going to see their different styles clash for the first time. Azadar, being Azadar, does what he does best. He tries to just muscle his way through. He finds this giant boulder and tries to jam it in the river to make a path. And the result? Well, you can see it right here, a big, fat zero. The river just swallows the rock like it was a pebble. It becomes painfully obvious that strength alone is not going to cut it. Okay, so plan A was a total bust. Now they've got to get smart. Taha, the planner, he looks around and comes up with a brilliant idea. Use the fallen trees to build a makeshift bridge. But a plan is just a plan. It takes Azadar's raw power to actually hold those heavy logs in place against that crazy current. And then it takes Muntazar's quiet focus, his finesse, to spot the perfect places to lock the bridge into the riverbank, making it safe and stable. You see, each one did something the other two just couldn't. And what they just stumbled upon here, this is their first huge lesson. There's a word for it, synergy. I know, it sounds like something from a business meeting, but it's a really powerful idea. It's that magic that happens when 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3. It equals like 10. On their own, they were stuck. But together, they didn't just add their skills, they multiplied them. All right, so they've conquered the river. They've learned about force. But the mountain isn't done with them yet. Up at the summit, a whole new kind of challenge is waiting for them. And this time, it's a test of knowledge. So they finally make it to the top. And what do they find? Another dead end. This time, it's this huge, ancient-looking stone door. And right in the middle, there's a keyhole that perfectly matches the key their father gave them. But, this door is not about to make things easy. And just like before, they all try to go it alone at first. Azadar practically throws himself against the door. Nothing, not even a shutter. But Taha, the bookworm, he's studying these weird carvings around the keyhole. And he gets it. This isn't a normal lock. It's a musical one. It needs a specific sound to open. But his voice isn't right. And that's when Muntazar, the listener, leans in close and notices something incredible. The iron key itself is humming, just faintly, with the exact sound they need. And this is it. This is the moment where everything just clicks. That riddle where three paths meet his one, it all comes together, right here. When Tazar holds the key, that's the instrument. Taha provides the melody he figured out from the carvings, but they need one more thing. They need Azadar to strike the key with just the right amount of force at the perfect time. Strength, knowledge, and perception all working together in perfect sync. And with a deep groan, the ancient door swings open. So, the big question, what was behind that massive door? After all that work, was it the room full of gold and jewels they were expecting? Well, the answer turned out to be something way, way more valuable than that.
Inside, there was no treasure, just a simple room with a window looking down on their home and a letter from their father. And in that letter was the answer to the riddle. The inheritance wasn't a thing they could hold. It was a way of being they had to discover for themselves. The real gold was the bond they had just built. I mean, think about that metaphor. It's just perfect, isn't it? Alone, Azadar was just a wall. Strong, yeah, but stuck in one place. Taha was a cloud, full of ideas, but no real substance. And Muntazir was a shadow, always there, but without any solid form. It was only when they came together that they could become the mountain itself. Strong, wise, and reaching for the sky.
So, you see, the brothers didn't come down from the mountain rich with gold. They came back rich with something so much more powerful, a totally new way of seeing the world. And, more importantly, a new way of seeing each other.
So what's the big takeaway from their journey? Well, it shows us that individual talent, no matter how amazing, will always have a limit. It shows that having a team with really different skills isn't just a nice to have, it's a massive strategic advantage. True success, the kind that lasts, it's found when we work together, not when we try to do it all alone. The greatest treasure they found was the ability to solve any problem, as long as they did it together.
And in the end, that's what happened. Those three totally separate paths, the path of strength, the path of knowledge, and the path of perception, they finally met. They weren't three separate brothers anymore. They were one unified, unstoppable team.
And that really leaves us with a question to think about for ourselves. We all tend to walk one of those paths, don't we? Maybe you're the mountain or the dreamer or the listener. The real challenge and the biggest opportunity is to ask yourself, which path are you on? And who do you need standing right there beside you? Thanks for exploring this with us.